Thanks for tuning in, guys. So today we're going to do a cool project. We are going to make a giant turkey fryer out of a beer keg. Never seen anybody do this before, so I'm pretty excited about the build. I think it's going to work great. So let's get right to it. I don't want to waste a ton of your time. So if you can see to my right, there is a long cylinder looking thing that is made out of stainless, some kind of expanded metal. I acquired this from somewhere, so I'm not really sure where you could get this, but it's just something I acquired. So I'm going to be using that to make my basket, and then the keg, I'm going to be cutting the top off, and I'm actually going to make a separate lid out of aluminum using some diamond plate and some solid aluminum rod just to make a lid to put over the top of it. But the beer keg will hold the grease, and then the basket will be made from the expanded metal cylinder you see to my right. I'm actually going to have to cut it apart to make it bigger, but considering Turkey Day's right around the corner, I think this is a good project for the time, and I hope you like this video, and stay tuned to check out the build. Diving right in. So if you look to the left, you will see my machine I'm going to be using to cut this keg open. It is going to be my PrimeWeld 3-in-1 plasma cutter, stick welder, or TIG welder. It is one of my favorite machines that I own. If you want to know more about this machine, you can check out a video on my channel where I made a little air compressor that is on the cart there that allows me to be able to cut immediately non-stop. It's an excellent video on how to make your own little air compressor, but it also includes information on this plasma cutter. I love PrimeWeld. Their equipment is amazing. I have a new TIG welder I'm going to be doing a review on soon. But anyway, so I've got the keg cut open, and now I'm cutting for the basket. The cylinder is not the exact size of the keg, so I am going to be cutting it down the side. I'm going to add in a piece, and then I'm going to cut another piece to put on the bottom to complete the basket. You will see the basket here in a little bit. But now I'm going to make the lid, and basically I'm just going to take this diamond plate, I'm going to trace the keg, and then I'm going to use my skill saw, which is a pretty cool way to cut thick aluminum, and I'm just going to cut the circle out as close to the line as I can, and then finish it out with a grinder. As you can see, I actually can cut this aluminum pretty quick with a skill saw. I'm thinking I might do a video on how to cut aluminum with one. It is such an awesome tool to cut aluminum, and a lot of people might not think about using one, but I use one every single day. It's a really cool way to cut it. Anyway, so after I cut this circle out, I'm going to be taking some 3/4 solid stock, and I'm going to bend it around the top of the keg, around the outside edge of the circle I'm making, and then I'm going to weld it to this circle in order to make my lid, put a little handle on it. It'll be a nice heavy stout lid that will be a little added safety feature to the cooker, so that way if it were to ever fall over, this lid might stop a lot of the grease from shooting out everywhere, because I made it kind of snug where you can kind of tap it on there and lock it in, but you can tap it off if you need to. But it's also very heavy, so a little kid can't pick it up and get inside there whenever they don't need to be, because it's heavy enough where, you know, a little tiny kid or a young baby is not going to be able to pick it up and get it off. So that was the thoughts on that. So getting this cleaned up, it was pretty dirty. I ended up trading a little bit of other welding to get this plate from a neighbor, but you know, it worked out. Sorry I got the beer keg kind of in the way there, but you get the idea. I'm just cleaning it up with my little wire wheel there, and I actually heated it up to burn some of the crap off of it before I wire wheeled it, and that helped a lot. And now it's time to put the 3/4 round on here, which was a bit of a task. I probably could have done it a better way. I probably could have done it with my bender, but I just, as I welded it, it heats it up so much, so I would weld a good bit of it and then just manually bend it around, and then weld some more of it and then bend it around and then weld, vice versa, because the aluminum would get so hot you could literally just push it around. I tried heating it at first, but that was just a waste of time and gas. When you weld it, it gets it hot enough to bend it right on around. I struggle with it a little bit here. Started to get into a groove though and figure out the best way to do it. It really was kind of tricky, but I really wanted the extra added weight to this lid so that way, a young baby or kid could not lift it off and, stick their hand in hot grease. You'll see on most fryers that they have just this little lightweight flimsy lid. They might have a reason for that, but I went with a heavy one. I like it. There we go. I kind of get into a groove here. As you can see, I'm getting it all the way around almost, and going a little smoother. There we go. Yep, weld bend, weld bend, weld bend. That's when I got it really into a groove and got it figured out. Say hi to the chicken back there. That's my buddy, or she's my buddy. She's getting rid of all the bugs for us. Very essential in any shop. Okay, about got this wrapped up. Just gonna snip off the end here, weld it all up, do a little grinding, make sure it fits good, and then gonna make me a little handle. Alright, now we got it all wrapped up. You can see the lid, that's a finished lid there, and there's your pot. Just in time for Turkey Day. Really big size. You can put 3 turkeys in this joker. I mean, just a cool project if you want a giant fryer. Figured it was perfect timing. And as you can see the basket here, you see I welded in another piece and added the bottom to make it almost the same size as the keg, so you could utilize the entire space of the keg to put more stuff in there. The basket turned out really good. I'm really happy about that. And for the handle, I just took a piece of stainless steel filler rod and filler metal and just bent it and stuck it on there. Just stuck one on there so you can take it on and off, and it gets out of the way of the turkeys if you need to load the turkeys. So we're gonna run over here and grab our fish cooker burner so we can set this thing on here and see what it's gonna look like. Make sure it sits on the fish cooker good if I can get it out of here, and bear with me just a second and we'll go see what she looks like. Alright, it sits on here perfect, and it's awesome. I love it. It is a giant fryer. You can put 3 turkeys in this thing all day long. I'm going to be making some added extra stuff for this. I'm going to make a base plate with some rods sticking up that you can put the turkeys on the rods, so you don't even need to use the basket, but I'm going to do that later today. But I hope you like this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate the support if you do, and I hope to see you guys next time. So that way you could take it on and off and it wouldn't get in the way of the turkeys. But let's go grab a fryer so you can see this thing on a fryer and see what it looks like.